Hi everyone, this is Mia and she's from Seattle, and she has a very interesting story to share, we want to share you that story, okay?
Hey, I'd like to tell you about my story, and it started 8 years ago when I was riding my bike to work. I was in computers, and I was hit by a car July 2nd of 2001, and what happened on that day was that I sustained a brain injury. What ended up happening was I was not able to do my work anymore in computers. I was a heavy multitasker, and I could no longer multitask. What happened was I was so good in the company, I had such a positive attitude, that they tried to move me around to different things, but everything was the same. I needed to be heavy multitasking, busy phones. In the computer I was doing was I really love that job. It was troubleshooting. And so what ended up happening was I lost my job because I was no longer able to do the work. I spent 4 years in rehab. With a brain injury, what happened for me, it was mild traumatic brain injury. So I was, it's mild because I was unconscious for less than 30 minutes. And so that's why it's mild. But what it did was it turned my whole life upside down. And actually on that day, I felt like I actually died. I remember telling people that I died. It was as if I died, and I was reincarnated into the same body, which now looking back on what I was saying, it sounds kind of strange, you know.
I know.
But I think for people who have brain injury, other people I've talked to, they have said, yes, it did feel like they died that day. So what happened was, within the year, I didn't know I had the brain injury for a year after it happened. By then I had lost my job and was then looking for other work, but of course with that disability not able to find work that I could actually do. So was diagnosed about a year later. Then I ended up getting rehab, good rehab, so that it was 4 years of rehab trying to get back into the workforce. So at the end of that, not able to get in, the doctors said, okay, we can't get you back into work, you're too brain injured. So what ended up happening was they stopped rehab, of course, and then I ended up thinking, okay, well, what am I going to do? What do people do? I was 37 when I was hit by the car, and my whole life just changed. I was very depressed, and they told me 99.9% of the people have depression. Let's see, I was sleeping 14-hour days and then taking a nap as well. So it was, I would be awake for about an hour and a half to 2 hours in the morning and be trying to focus on something, and then become very fatigued, and so would have to sleep again. So
yes,
so
is that part of your
the brain injury?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of brain fog, not able to think things through, not, like I said, not troubleshooting. What else? The bright lights were too bright, and very sensitive to light, sensitive to noise. Two school-aged kids at the time, elementary school, and so they're chattering all the time, so it was very interesting. So anyway, I was suffering through that for until about 3 years ago, when I was trying to lose the 50 pounds I had gained after the accident. And so I happened upon a website that had the rawfamily.com on it. And so I went to that website and I saw that book, and I went to the library and checked out all the books I could on it, and started reading about all these miraculous healings that were happening, people just changing their diet. So what I decided to do was to see if, because I didn't see anybody saying they have brain injury and then they heal. So what I did was I decided, okay, well, let me see, I'll be the experiment, and I'll see if I can heal this, because I was reading about people with chronic fatigue, depression, you know, all these problems, and they were feeling better. So
Okay, let us continue.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.